The longer you've owned it, the less you have to worry. Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. I was just having this thought. I'm packing these wheel bearings for someone. See those two there? I was just packing them for this guy. Nice guy. I don't even know. I haven't met him, but you know, just from what I know online and what I've heard, typical nice family guy. But I think it's one of the people that worries, or maybe worries too much. And I know there's a lot of people that worry too much. You may have your 1KD-FTV and you worry about getting a cracked piston. Now, I just want to quit. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Now, so this guy, he instigated the thought for this video because I'm not sure if he's still worried about it or he's stopped worrying about it. And there's other people as well that are very similar that worry about it or used to worry about it. I'm not sure what the situation is, but I just want to say to everybody, please stop worrying about it. And let me explain it to you this way. The reason this one instigated this video, these two front wheel bearings, right? I go, okay, it's a 2010 150 Prado, and I'm going, gee, that's, you know, that's bananas. That's 12 years old, right? It's only done 195,000 K, so wise to change the wheel bearings then. But I'm just thinking, you know, 12 years old, so he's had the vehicle a long time. Now, for the people that worry, okay, so let's say you're worried, right? How much is an engine's about 10 grand and some other bits and pieces and some labour. So let's just put a number out there, 15 grand for an engine, brand new, long motor, with injectors, pipes, everything you need, new glow plugs, all the gaskets, job done right, 15 grand, that's what you're looking at. So you're worried about that, possibly, somebody, you know, somebody or a whole number of people, a whole group of people are worried about this. Fair enough, but let me explain it to you this way. So worrying doesn't help. So if you can do something, then do something to fix the problem to stop the worry. And if you can't do anything, then don't worry. Now, so what would you do to fix it? Oh, I'm going to sell it. Okay, so you're going to sell the vehicle then, so you've got no four-wheel drive, no Prado, you can't travel, or you're going to go buy another one. Because whether you pick one with a different year, a different engine, whatever, they've all got their problems. So let's say your best solution was, well, I'll buy a new car because that's the most reliable. Well, I'll sort of say incorrect, but anyway, they've got a 5-year warranty now, so that's good. So you've got that covered. If you've got your RAC total high cover or NRMA, good, okay, you got that covered. So it's not going to cost you too much, but it still could be an inconvenience, right? But the thing is, you've gone and spent 70 or 80 grand to get the vehicle, or more if you pick the higher model, plus all the accessories and modifications, which you've got to do again, which in this market currently with not enough workers that can do things right, you're more likely to get an average job, let's say. So there's your next problems. You're creating your next problems and things to worry about by getting a new vehicle now and resetting it up all again now. Unless you know one of the very few people left that bother to do things properly, you could be in trouble, okay? So you've spent all this money. Let's say you got a VX and you got 30 grand at ARB or all these accessories. You could have spent 120, 130 grand setting up a Prado. Now that's a lot of money. Now remember what your 150 cost you back then. That 150 you got in 09, 10 or 11, whatever, probably only cost you 50 grand or not much more, maybe 60 and some accessories, right? But the thing is, we know it devalues over time. They hold their value very well, but the longer you keep it, okay, it's kind of like owes you nothing, if you know what I mean. It gets down to the point, so let's just say even with these C19 pricing, you know, a 2010 Prado, it could be anything from 35 to 45 grand, you know, just all depending, a lot of variables there, right? If you go and buy the new vehicle and spend an extra 45 grand or whatever, I'm just throwing a number, double the value, you can buy 3 engines for that. Do you get my thinking? I'm just trying to help you out here and go, well, if you just keep it long, the longer you keep a vehicle, the less it owes you. All right, I think about, so our 120, 2008 120, had it since 2014. It's 2022 now, so it's 8 years, right? So it's kind of like owes me nothing. I've got enough use out of it that for that 30 grand that it owed me, thereabouts, ballpark, over 8 years, divided in, you know, a few grand a year, I'm kind of like, it owes me almost nothing. So I don't mind spending money on it as preventive maintenance to keep it going because it's my favourite Prado. I personally love the 120s. I like the 150s as well, but I'm pretty sure I like the 120s better. Now, don't get me wrong, there's newer things on newer cars that of course you like better, but the overall package and for what it's used for, I think I prefer the 120. If you could buy a new 120, you know how Nissan kept the D22s when they had the D40s and all that? Did or will or do, I don't know, I'm not up to date with that, but it's maybe Toyota should have kept the 120s because people would still be buying them, you know, a little bit cheaper option, still got the 1KD instead of the 1GD. I think lots of people would buy them. Anyway, and with the 5-speed auto, it was matched up pretty well, all the gearing and everything, especially with the manual, to be quite honest, but that's another story. Do you get what I mean though? So keeping your old Prado, all that time you're worried, your hair's gone grey, your hair's full out, your hairline's receded all the way back, it's not worth worrying about things, guys, right? Just don't worry about it because it's probably not going to happen. And if you've done all the right things as far as maintenance, injectors and all that sort of thing, avoiding chips, tunes, remaps, whatever the case may be, making rocket ships out of these things, then you've reduced your chances down to the absolute minimum. Now, it's a 4-cylinder. If you're towing some heavy weights, long distances and regularly, you're still at a little bit, let's say, high risk type thing. It's a, you know, don't get me wrong, it's probably still not going to happen. But if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen to you, not someone that's not towing or they're only towing short distances, that sort of thing, okay? I know a lot of people aren't worried about it, and they're already gone. The people that are still with me 5-6 minutes, they're the ones that are worried. Do you get my point? Don't worry about it. It's kind of like, it's only 15 grand, okay? If you were to try and come up with a solution, well, you can sell the vehicle. You can go buy a Corolla hybrid. That's certainly going to be cheaper to run as long as you don't want to travel anymore and that suits your needs, then certainly go ahead and do that. That's a great option. But if the Corolla hybrid's not for you and you like the full drive and you like touring, I think the 120s, all those 150s up to 2015, I still think they're all worth keeping. Some people say, oh, he just says that because he wants to sell you injectors. Well, what you haven't worked out, and perhaps I have, and I'll just share that with you, regardless of ownership, doesn't matter who owns the vehicles, whether it's you or someone else, the person you sold it to, they're all going to be doing their homework. Same percentages of people are going to find me, not find me, and get injectors and not get injectors. And I'm busy anyway, so I'm not trying to sell any more injectors, right? So you got that wrong if that's what you thought, okay? Obviously, there's lots of different ways to make money. We've got lots of options out there. And what we're working on is, look, we've got 2 1KDs, right? You know, do as I say, not as I do, yes. But look at me, I've got 2 1KDs. One in a Prado, one in a Hilux. Am I worried about them blowing up? No. But you might say, oh, but you can fix it. Well, the thing is, I've still got to buy the engine. There's not that much in the engine. You think I'm getting an engine for 2 grand or something, 3 grand? Forget it, mate. I've still got to pay close to 10 grand for an engine. I've still got to make time in the workshop to change the engine. It works out the same. It's still my time. So look at it this way. If I'm doing yours, I'm getting paid for it. I'm doing mine, I'm not getting paid for doing yours. So it costs me the same because we're down that time. So don't think, oh, you know, it's free or cheap for you, because it's much of a muchness, to be quite honest. And for the people that hung around, don't forget about that crack piston fund. At the moment, the balance is a bit over 20K. So we've got the original fund included there. That's the set few people that put in a larger amount. There's about probably 25 people there that own one. Well, it's up to 12 grand basically. So the balance for the rest of it is currently about 8 or 9 grand. If we get it up around 12, 13, 14, that's what we're working towards. That covers one complete engine. But then it doesn't mean we're going to spend it all in one engine. We might contribute it to one engine. We might use some of the money for some VCAT fees if we need to help someone go to small claims to get what they're entitled to, because it certainly shouldn't happen, especially at the lower kilometre ones with all the people that have done the right thing. So rest assured, if you're in the VIP or the VIP groups, make sure you know about both of them and you've done the right thing, you've done the maintenance, you've made contributions, whether it's one big one or a few smaller ones or whatever you're comfortable with. They're the people who are going to get looked after to the max. If it happens to them, of course, we're going to say, look, ask Toyota the question, because they have been doing at least partially, if not a fair bit of the right thing when people have been asking that question. Can they get the job done right? That's another question. Are they going to pay you out on it? Probably not. But then if you've got fuel contamination, it could be insurance, you could get paid out on it, and you'll have a choice of workshops there depending what your insurance says. So there's lots of options there. It's not something to worry about. There's heaps of solutions, so you need to be informed about it. So you watch our videos, you listen, be prepared for it, and then it won't happen to you. If it does happen to you, it's good if you're prepared for it. I hope you just understand my thinking. I think it was worth this little talk just to say don't worry about it, because it doesn't make any difference. And even better, if you plan your life that you've got a emergency fund, you know, you've paid extra off your house, or, you know, hopefully you don't get I don't like car loans, you know. Some people say this is bad advice, but I like to put the car loan, redraw it off the house because you've got a lower interest rate, but then they say, oh, but you know, then they don't pay it off. Well, the thing is, you can just make sure you pay the same payments. If your payments are $1,000 a month or whatever it is, even though you don't have to pay it because it's your redraw, or just pay it anyway if you want to pay it off. And if you don't want to pay it off, it doesn't matter because the interest rate on your house is really low compared to your car, right? But the point is, no car loans is ideal. If you need a vehicle, it's worth redrawing a little bit off the home loan, I think. Interest rates are obviously going up though. That's another story, other videos maybe we'll go into that, but hopefully you got a little bit out of this anyway. So if you did, hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, don't worry about it. It's a small amount of money. If you've done the right thing, we're going to help you out anyway. If you need injector kits, you know, the usual, just save that to the end. Monday mornings, text me from 7:30 AM. Only Monday mornings, please, if you can, unless it's an emergency and you're completely disorganised, and we'll put that surcharge on and do it whatever day you text me. Tuesday for suspension, Wednesday for BFE and wheel bearings, and from Wednesday lunchtime through till Monday morning, please leave me alone unless it's an emergency. Use our Facebook groups as a resource, our Facebook pages, our YouTube channel, search, listen, learn. Thanks for listening now. Catch you on the next one. And I hope you get your wheel bearings soon. The last guy, he got one and not the other one. The other one will come another day. They do that all the time, right? And this one here, that's an injector kit. And those boxes there, they're all the brand new hubs that are going to get pressed into the bearings with the new seals and O-rings and everything to replace all these hubs that have been, I tell you, I promise you, these boxes on the shelf, they've been sort of collecting dust for quite a few weeks, you know. I'll say, you know, a few weeks, I don't know how many, a few weeks. They've been going slow, okay? They've been going, we got a lot of them there, and they've been going really slow. And I went, okay, so then I, you know, sold a couple, I started moving again. And I go, no, I'll run the stock down a bit, and you know what? They're going out the door. So anyway, we've got a whole heap more. And of course, you know, chucking them on vehicles all the time as well. And they're going out the door. Thanks for watching. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you on the next one, guys. See you.